young Jack the Ripper. Nobody knows about this. Women were being viciously murdered on the side streets of Boston. They were either being strangled or they were being beaten over the head and, molested. I'll just leave it at that. All right. Well, this was going on for several years. Nobody knew who it was, but he only came out on foggy nights, right? Because that way it's easier not to be detected. You can disappear. And witnesses actually saw him. But all the witnesses said was he was wearing a big, tall, black hat and a big, black upper cape, just like Jack the Ripper. All right, well, that describes pretty much any gentleman in the city of Boston back then, because that's what men wore when they went out for the evening. In fact, it got so bad that they actually put a ban on black upper capes. Gentlemen in Boston were not allowed to wear black upper capes and black top hats for a period of a few years because of this. He usually focused on prostitutes, but one of his final victims was a cleaning woman. About 4 o'clock in the morning, she was letting herself in. He snuck up behind her, bashed her over the head, dragged her body in, and murdered her. People heard the screaming going on. Well, this, of course, Boston was absolutely panic-stricken because of this. Who was this Belfry murderer? Who was he? Well, there's a very good reason why they couldn't identify him. His name was Thomas Piper, and he was the sexton of the Warren Baptist Church. No one would have suspected the sexton of any church. So Thomas Piper was hiding in plain sight. Nobody knew it was him. Now, this is how it ended. On Easter Sunday, and I believe it was 1870, well, no, I guess it was 1875, I think was when they apprehended him. So the killings were going on prior to that. Easter Sunday! Everyone comes out for church on Easter. And a little girl by the name, very ironically, her name was Mabel Young. She was only about 5 years old. She was attending church with her dear auntie. After the Mass, the girl was roaming around down in front of the church, and she was approached by the dear old sexton, Thomas Piper, who invites her upstairs to take a look at the belfry. He brings her upstairs, locks the door behind her, brings her all the way up the top. While she has her back turned, he pulls out a cricket bat and beats her over the head with it, killing her. All right, well, apparently he didn't have time to do what he would usually do. There were all these people, the church was letting out. So he goes downstairs, opens up the door, locks it behind him, and he very just inconspicuously sort of mingles around. By this point, Auntie is going around going, Mabel, where's Mabel? I don't see Mabel. Do you know where Mabel is? Mabel might need blah, 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 blah. Everyone starts looking for Mabel Young. Where's Mabel Young? Where's Mabel Young? No one can find her. All of a sudden, from the top of the belfry, they hear a child's screams. Coming. Mabel's not dead, apparently. She's still alive. They run to the door. The door's locked. Piper, give us the key. I don't have it on me. All right, that was his first mistake. Who wouldn't have? The sexton of the church would have the key on him, obviously. He insists, I don't have the key. The screaming continues. All of a sudden, they start beating the door down. They beat the door down. They open up the door. They run up. There's poor Mabel Young. Her head's cracked open. Blood's pouring out. She's still alive, screaming away. All right. Needless to say, they had Thomas Piper. They knew he did it. Eventually, he confessed. He did have the key on him. They found it on him. He confesses, and he ends up being hanged to death. Do you want to know what happened to Mabel Young? She died the next day.